Welcome to this edition of The Hill with April Ryan. There's a lot to talk about. Let's get right to it. Inflation is creeping back up, and with that, the Fed chair has signaled that a cut in interest rates likely won't happen this year. Marc Morial of the National Urban League talks about how this could impact Black and brown communities and the role the November election might play.
We're not, in many places, feeling that the economy is better. But in truth and in fact, the unemployment rate is lower, the growth rate is higher, the Black unemployment rate is lower, and you have a president that's made commitments on paper to include Black workers in his economic program.
Morial says President Biden has partnered with the unions and the National Urban League to give Black people apprenticeship jobs. Morial is urging African Americans to use critical thinking when it comes to this upcoming election as it relates to the Black economy. There's a shakeup at the Rainbow Push organization. Freddie Haynes, who took over as head of the organization in February, has stepped down. Haynes replaced the retiring Reverend Jesse Jackson, who has been dealing with the effects of Parkinson's disease. There's no word on who will fill the seat as president and CEO. Reverend Jackson holds the status of president emeritus of the more than 50-year-old organization. Democratic Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley is speaking out for a change to the U.S. policy on Haiti. Pressley is the co-chair of the House Haiti Caucus. She's calling for extending temporary protected status for Haitian citizens who are living under the state of emergency due to an ongoing civil war there. 53,000 people have been forced to leave the country. Pressley is also calling for a halt to deportations, but she also wants the delivery of humanitarian, economic, and security assistance to the island. Thanks to a ruling by the Arizona Supreme Court, Arizona now has one of the most restrictive abortion laws on the books. The ruling triggered a ban first put on the books in 1864, is a near total ban on abortions. Pro-choice groups contend the ban limits women's health care options and compromises women of color. Dr. Carla Debnam of the Renaissance Center of Baltimore County says losing the right to make medical decisions has an emotional and mental impact on women.
It's not just restrictive from a geological, and regional perspective, but just sometimes when we are in a place where we know we don't have options, that's more stressful than if we had options. It doesn't mean we'll use and choose these options we have, but knowing I have like 5 and 6 options available is less stress sometimes for people. Like, wow, I have the power to choose what's best for me.
Dr. Jeff Gardere, national clinical psychologist, says the issue can lead to depression and anxiety.
The Black women I've talked to, especially my patients, are very, very much dysphoric, angry, because they feel for them, this is not just about their rights as far as their bodies, as far as abortion and birth control. This is more about having control over their own bodies.
Both doctors say it is important to reach out to your doctor or therapist if you are overwhelmed by the swiftly changing landscape on reproductive health. And finally, we're getting our first look at the Obama Foundation's Presidential Library and campus being constructed on the south side of Chicago. I was allowed in that massive 300-seat auditorium. Take a look.
What is considered one of the major pieces of the Obama Foundation. This is the auditorium that is being constructed as part of the Obama Foundation. And we got word that President Obama is really very much hands-on on this whole foundation project, but he's been in here already testing out spaces and places to make sure it works.
The center features water gardens and other spaces named after people like Harriet Tubman, the late civil rights icon Congressman John Lewis, and the former president's mother, Stanley Ann Dunham. And a fun fact, 40% of the facility is underground. There's also an athletic center and several eateries on the campus. The facility will be open in 2026, and 51% of the project is being completed by minority contractors. With my hard hat on, that's it for another edition of The Hill with April Ryan. Tune in next time right here for more news and information for us and about us. Until next time, peace.